Let there be fire!
Are you filming that stick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Boom. Oh, yeah, marshmallow.
ASMR.
Yes. Alright, get it in there.
I can't.
I've seen light anomalies?
I've seen some.
You've seen a UFO?
Yeah, like, I remember, like, this is just, like, so broad. It was, like, early in the morning, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a piss outside, because why not? And I saw, like, just, like, something moving across, but, like, it was going in zigzags. So I just watched it for, like, 10 minutes, then it finally, like, it went away.
It's crazy. Is that, like, the craziest experience you've ever witnessed?
My great aunt Linda, she lives in Vermont, like in the mountains, and so it was my grandma and my great aunt Linda, and they were walking somewhere back to their house, some shit, and they saw like a craft, and like it shined like the lights on them and shit, and they like booked it, like.
They saw a what?
Like a light, just like a craft.
Oh shit.
Then a light, like on them and shit.
Damn.
Our dad has a story, doesn't he?
Of aliens?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, him and his brother were like driving down a highway, and they said they saw like a beam of light.
Something like that.
And they're religious too, so I wonder what they thought.
Yeah.
I think aliens exist. Like,
They have to.
Do you think like it's like the future?
What do you mean?
Like visited in the past?
Honestly,
Like
who's to say that they
fifth-dimensional?
haven't, like, there hasn't been any kind of, like, contact with alien life on this planet beforehand? When you see things like the Nazca lines, the pyramids, just so many grandiose things that humans have, like, created, and it just seems so beyond, like,
Crop circles.
what they should
That's
have been
always been
able to
creepy.
do.
Like crop
Yeah.
circles.
You know, it's fucking nuts, and it's just like, I don't want to just throw everything and just like, oh, that's alien or something, but we can agree that it's, at least to our understanding, we can look at it as paranormal, because what is paranormal really? Things that we just can't really explain with our, like, technology, right? You know, so if there's a lot of people that have, like, theorized how, like, these things could have been created and everything, and again, all of these are theories. We can't go back in time and prove anything.
Like they found like perfect round circles, and like it dates back to like AD era, and like no technology. Imagine Shrek haunting you with like stomps of swamp, stepping into your room, and just like smelling the whole entire place up.
Oh my god, Shrek is life. Is this where it's going? Shrek is love. Shrek is
He
life.
just looks at you in a certain way, and you know that shit's about to get real. He just takes a shit. A power move. Just psychologically. Just
What are you talking about?
talking about Shrek shit.
That's his story. Okay, Alicia, your turn.
I don't even have a phone, so I think it's your turn.
No.
Give me the camera.
No thanks.
Give me the camera.
No thanks.
Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
Then what's your excuse? Give me the camera.
So I'm gonna read the screen.
Da, da, da.
My cousin and I were fishing late at night. We decided to go around 9 p.m. since that's when it's the best time for us to get a bite. We got to our spot and there was nothing but the two of us, the lake and your normal chirp chirp and some other random animal sounds, which we were used to. About 30 minutes into our peaceful night of fishing, suddenly things went quiet. If you have ever gone to our spot, you know that just does not happen. We didn't say anything and we kept on with our night, but suddenly there was a loud screaming sound coming from behind us. I turned to look at my cousin. By this time his face was pale and he asked out loud at the same time, "Did you hear that?" "Yes, I did." "What was it?" "I don't know. I've never heard that before." As much as we both tried to ignore it, we kept alert, but then it passed, and after about an hour or so, we had forgotten about the incident. We didn't catch much. so we decided to pack up and call it a night. When we were headed back to our truck, we started hearing rustling leaves behind us. We turned around, thinking it was an animal, but nothing was there. We kept on, and right as we were about to hop in our truck, a woman appeared right in front of us, a few feet away.
Fuck no.
She looked dirty and a little beat up with some blood stains on what seemed to be a nightgown of some sort. We shouted, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" She continues to stare at us, and then the shrieking scream we heard before came out of her mouth. My cousin and I were petrified and got into the car and drove off. Haven't gone to our spot ever since. We've never told anyone what happened, but I can still hear the scream from time to time. So scary.
Very scary.
The scary.
How scared were you? Nice.
Of the sort.
You didn't even know I was talking to you, did you?
Yeah, I did. It was kind of intense.
Is there anyone else that wants to read a scary story? Alicia? I could give you my phone and you can pick from the same list I just read.
I'm surprised.
They literally just almost caught me on fire, guys. Because they wanted to play Minecraft in real life. Are you proud of yourself, Zach? Are you proud?
Touching.
You're proud, aren't you?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so it's called the medium. Here we go. My two buddies from the war and I go about twice a year on a weekend-long fishing trip. We catch up on our lives, rent a cabin, the usual. But this year happened to be that one of my buddies was sick, so when I told my other friend about it, he told me that his cousin was in town and that he could fill in. So we took off to our spot. Once we got there, it was late in the afternoon, but we had enough time to set up our gear and head down to the boondocks. Among some of the things we take with us, there's a weather/emergency radio in case of an emergency. Duh. We set it up on any FM frequency and chill out till we catch something. Between us talking and getting to know more about my friend's cousin, the radio started to make a crackling sound, which it had never done before. Then the radio mysteriously switched from FM to AM, which I thought was weird since it has a little button on the side that you change to press in order to change it. We called it a night, but my friend's cousin looked distracted. He kept looking at the lake and smiling, and there was also a hint of fear in his eyes. When we got to the cabin, we headed towards the kitchen because we heard a loud noise. All the dishes had been thrown to the floor and my radio was still making the same strange sound. My buddy's cousin comes up to me and tells me, "Don't worry, it's the spirit of the man who lives here. He just doesn't like you guys coming here." I looked at him puzzled, and my friend later explained to me that he's a medium. I'm not much of a believer, but now things have changed. That story sucked.
Wow, that was the end?
Yeah, that's it. Literally hate that I read that to another group of people and made them go through it.
You can pick another one. We have 3 minutes.
Okay, the German soldier. Only once when I was fishing did I have a ghostly experience, and that was when I was fishing at a lake in France. I'd been there for a couple of days and my time was really nice and peaceful. There was an old chateau nearly riddled with bullet holes from the Second World War. Anyway, this lake is on a French army training area, so it was pretty secluded. During the late afternoons, I had the feeling of being watched from the woods at the far end of the lake. Each day, at the same time, the feeling would return, usually around dusk and from different areas, as if whatever it was getting closer. I remember walking on the last night of my trip. Outside the bivvy, it was very foggy, and I could hardly see the dim glow of my bite alarms. The fuck is that?
Wait, was that it?
No, I'm still reading, but I don't know what that is.
Bite alarms, like, is he a fisherman?
Congrats, he fishes. I decided to make a brew, and as I flicked on the lighter, the spark silhouetted... The spark silhouetted... I completely lost where I was. The face of a helmeted German soldier peering into my bivvy from the darkness outside. The next morning I packed up and went home, but not before speaking to an old French estate warden who told me that the chateau had seen some fierce fighting when the Americans liberated that area of France. The Germans had fled into the woods, only to be ambushed by a patrol in reserve. They were all killed and buried around the lake. I don't think I'll fish there again.
Is that the end?
Did these end like? Did they end like
I'm
a
done.
joke? It's literally like, oh, my day was going on, and then some spooky shit happened. Ain't that crazy? It's like, how is that scary?